phone.
Hey, everybody. Welcome. We are live here Monday morning. And boy, did a lot happen since our last episode. We're going to talk, obviously, about the whole Oval Office beatdown of Volodymyr Zelenskyy. Of course, the left wants to tell you Trump is a bully.
Well,
we know.
Totally uncalled for what happened.
Yeah,
Putin's dancing in the aisles.
It's unbelievable. We're going to go into a ton of that. We've got videos to play. We've got internet issues with Dale again. All sorts of stuff going on, folks. So that, plus we'll get into tomorrow's the State of the Union address. Mm-hmm. We'll talk a little bit about that. I can't imagine I cannot wait to watch it, to be honest with you. Pam Bondi, what's going on? What is happening with the Epstein files, Jim?
I have another conspiracy theory to throw out.
Do you?
I think I'm pretty close to being right, though.
Okay. All right. I can't wait to hear it. So that, plus at the end of the show, our top 5 in honor of the Oscars, most overrated actresses, biological female actresses.
Everyone pretty much nominated for Best Actress last night.
Actress. Pretty much overrated. They all are overrated. But stay tuned for that at the end of the show, Jim. On what? What is a show?
Live from the Patriot Prayer Network studios. That would be 2 guys, 1 coup,
and 1 crappy internet. Be right back.
Lost in the crowd, truth hides deep, bury in the noise. Left hand deals lies, can't stifle the choice. Fight back rage, flames in the night. No more chains, break free from the fright. Eyes clear now, vision in the dark. We stand up, never bow to the mark. We are the storm, we are the fight. 2 guys, 1 coup, bringing light. No more lies, no more games. Stand tall and truth, break the chains. They spit and scream, push buttons in the dark. Yet we rise, never crumble in the park. Paint our faces with colors bright. March ahead in the dead of night. Shattered dreams won't silence us now. Left and right mixed poison in the vow. But we see through, we feel the beat.
I got it.
I am. Oh, did
Anyway.
you? I signed it.
You texted it too? Oops.
Yeah.
All right, they'll get it twice.
We are live, folks. I am here for how long? I don't know, until I freeze up. I think I'm already saying it. So,
but real quick,
yeah.
Aiken, I'm not sure how to take that.
Welcome back to everybody. Yeah, I'm not sure either. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Good morning.
The shots
Karen,
have been fired
Aiken,
already.
Okay, everybody. Huh? What's that?
The shots have been fired already.
Yeah, they have already. I thought.
Hey, was there something that happened in the Oval Office last week?
I don't know, but I thought we and Aiken had a peace agreement, but apparently not. So, yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
so yes,
we have the microphone, Aiken. So you're destroyed now.
You're destroyed.
We're apparently pro-Russia.
Yeah, I mean, this is incredible. So we've been saying, so folks, those of you that have joined us since we've joined the Patriots Prayer Network, welcome. New people that are here, welcome. But we've been saying since this war started that Zelenskyy is an absolute tyrant, weasel, corrupt individual.
Not that Putin's any better.
No, we aren't.
Okay.
Let me ask you a question before we even get started. I was going to get into this. Good morning, Mike, to the point. If there was a time where Russia and the United States were aligned in this big war. You think that ever could happen again?
In a big war? No.
What do you think? Do you think an alignment? And I say this for this reason, right? Because of course you've got the NATO, and you've got the EU allies and all that are, I think, stepping on toes here. And NATO's just just absolutely, there's no reason we need to be in it. Honestly, pulling out of it, I don't know what the ramifications of that are.
It destroys NATO.
It destroys NATO. We fund NATO. We how many troops do we have across, NATO territories?
Well, he's already threatened to pull the 30,000 out of Europe. And now
Yep,
the Europeans they're freaking out.
They are. Absolutely they are. And rightfully so.
Yep.
Boy, a lot has come out since that whole meeting in the Oval Office. We know you've seen these videos. We know what's going on, but we unfortunately haven't had a chance to review it. So we're going to do it today. Kind of give you a little starter here. So briefly, there was a minerals deal supposedly in place that would allow basically a peace treaty between Russia and Ukraine, with Ukraine making really that first step, right? And the United States intervening into it and started diplomatic negotiations, as the previous administration did not do, because they just funded and took money and funded, took money, funded and took money. And I'm not saying just Ukraine. I'm saying the Democrats funded and took money, the Biden administration and all that. And I don't think anybody in America should be happy with the fact that all that money went over to Ukraine and not to our veterans or to our homeless or to our citizens in general. So I don't understand the backlash of wanting to develop a peace treaty. Again, if it wasn't Trump, they'd be, if this was the Democrats, if this was Kamala doing this, and can't even imagine that old office meeting. But if this was Kamala doing it, what would the media be saying? Oh my gosh, she's the Nobel Peace Prize winner. She's, that's what would happen.
A check for $1 trillion.
Of course she would have. We all know that. And so, yeah, of course she would have done that. So, but it's Trump doing the deal, and rightfully so. We've paid you a lot of money there, you little asshole. We need to recoup some of that. I know we're not going to put troops on the border. We're not sending troops and boots on the ground in Ukraine. First of all, one, you're not a NATO nation. You're not coming into NATO. That would be up to the EU and all that if we backed out of NATO. Do what you got to do there. To me, that's a World War III situation, if that happens. But that's not part of the deal. Well, apparently there was a deal in place, or at least in principle, until Zelenskyy started his shit right there in front of the media in the Oval Office. Agreed?
Mm-hmm.
That's what happened. That's what took place. Here's a little bit of that. And then we've got the news circuit on Sunday. People went around on the news circuit on Sunday and explained what happened. And then there's a little tidbit that I don't know whether is true or not, but we'll play that as well. But let's start here. This is President Trump, Vice President Vance, and Volodymyr in the Oval Office. Let's look.
About the kind of diplomacy that's going to end the destruction of your country.
Yes, but if you are
Mr.
not
President,
strong...
Mr. President, with respect, I think it's disrespectful for you to come into the Oval Office and try to litigate this in front of the American media. Right now, you guys are going around and forcing conscripts to the front lines because you have manpower problems. You should be thanking the president for trying to bring an end to this conflict.
Have you ever been to Ukraine that you say what problems we have?
I have been.
Well, no, they haven't been to Ukraine because they're not taking dollars from you. They're not supporting you. So no, why would they go to Ukraine? What's the purpose of them going to Ukraine? I just think that's an absolute ridiculous question from him.
Yeah, that's not a security problem, is it?
No, not at all. I mean, Lindsey Graham's been there. A bunch of Democrats have been there.
If we lose Lindsey Graham, it's not a loss, but we can't lose the president.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Why would they go there?
Correct.
What's the point? So, but anyways,
come once.
I've actually watched and seen the stories, and I know what happens is you bring them on a propaganda tour, Mr. President. Do you disagree that you've had problems bringing people into your military?
We have
And
problems.
do you think that it's
I will
respectful
answer.
to come to the Oval Office
I
of the
will
United
answer.
States of America and attack the administration that is trying to prevent the destruction of your
A
country?
lot of questions. Let's start from the beginning.
Sure.
First of all, during the war, everybody has problems. Even you, but you have nice ocean and don't feel now, but you will feel it in the future. God
don't-
bless.
you don't know that.
God bless.
You don't know
God
that.
bless. You
Don't-
will not have
gotta-
a war.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel. We're
Yep.
trying to solve a problem. Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because
I'm
you're in no
answering on this
position to
question.
dictate that.
That's
Remember
exactly
this.
what
I'm not
You're in
dictating.
no position to dictate what we're going to feel.
You
We're
will-
going to feel very
you will
good.
feel influence.
We're going to feel
I'm-
very
I'm
good and
telling
very
you,
strong.
You will feel influence.
You're right now not in a very good position.
Yeah.
You've allowed
From the
yourself
very-
to be in a
from
very
the
bad
very
position,
beginning
and he
of the
happens
war.
to be right about
From
it.
the very beginning of the war.
You're not
Mr.
in a
Brown,
good position.
I
You don't
was
have
in
the cards right now.
Yeah.
With us, you start
I'm
having
not playing
cards. But
cards.
right now, you don't.
I'm
You're playing
serious,
cards.
Mr. President.
You're
I'm
playing
very
cards.
serious.
You're
I'm
gambling
the
with the
president
lives
in
of
war.
millions of people.
You think-
You're gambling with World War
What do you-
III.
what do you
You're
think about?
gambling with
What do you
World
think
War
about?
III. And
You-
what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country.
I'm-
It's
with
back
all
to
respect to
you.
your
Far
country.
more than a lot of people said
very
they
respect.
should have.
Have you said thank you once?
A lot of times.
No,
Yeah,
this
bullshit.
entire
Bullshit.
meeting You said thank
Even
you.
today.
You went to Pennsylvania and campaigned for the opposition in October. Offer some words of appreciation for
What-
the United
what
States
you're
of
speaking
America
about.
and the president who's trying to save your country.
Yep. I first of all, I've never seen television that good in my life.
No,
That
but, you know,
is, but what a strong leadership. And that's
We
both of
are
them.
not used to watching an administration stick up for the United States of America.
You
And
got
that's
that
what
right.
we saw.
That's
We
what
just
we
haven't
saw.
seen it.
Yep.
They stuck up for the
Yeah.
United States of America.
Correct.
So-
We stuck up for him, and that's what leaders do. That's what true American leadership does. It is absolutely, to me, it could not have been the better way to present this to Zelensky, because first of all, you come into our country, a country that has supported you in the billions, right?
Mhm.
Like rightfully or not, and absolutely we shouldn't have. There should have been no financial support. There should have been no military support, no weapons, no anything. That's not our war. That's not our thing. And believe me, when people talk about the history of Ukraine, this has been going far back to 2014.
We
This is
reviewed
not
it, right?
something. What's that?
We reviewed it.
Yeah, we
The
reviewed
whole
it all.
history of
We-
Ukraine. It's everything.
We reviewed it in depth. You have to go way back to when we first started our podcast. But we reviewed this. And anybody who says otherwise, that Ukraine is not a corrupt country, or that Zelensky is, his poor, but he put them in that position. That he's put them in that position.
Yeah.
Russia did what Russia had to do, like it or not. And Putin's a dick, and Putin's a criminal, and he's a mean son of a bitch. And there's no possible way that anybody could say, "Oh, I'm on Putin's side." But this isn't a side issue. It's not I'm a Ukraine, I'm a Putin guy. This is enough's enough. First of all, we've been funding this for how long? So that's got to end. And then if that ends, what happens to you? So you're better off trying to negotiate with the country that's funding your war, and but that's all coming to an end, than you are to act like a little absolute Napoleon tyrant sitting in the Oval Office. That to me, what President Trump and Vice President Vance did there was absolutely showed me we've had the best leadership in this country since Ronald Reagan. And maybe even before that. That was one of the best moments I think I've ever seen in my life about an America first, protect America. Here's how leaders should be. This isn't a bully situation. Zelensky's the bully, Jim. Zelensky's the absolute corrupt politician, comedian, now politician. It's absolutely ridiculous. When's the last time they had an election there? I mean, this isn't a democracy.
Well,
There's not
the election the election thing is that their
It's
constitution
martial
says
law.
that when there's a war, the leader in charge does not have to have an election. Which
So why would he want the war to end?
Correct. Well, not
This
just
guy's
why
living the life of luxury
when you
while
hear
these people are dying.
when Putin hears how we're fighting with each other over here about this war, you think he wants to end it?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, these are
Correct.
people who don't care if their men die. And that's sad.
That's right.
That's unfortunate because they don't care. Because
They
like
don't
you
care.
said, it needs to stop. It's done.
Correct.
We have put the news outlets is funny at CNN. I love them. I'm starting to really enjoy CNN. But they came back and they said, the one woman defended, well, 70% of the money we gave to Ukraine comes back to us in terms of buying arms and ammunition and stuff like that.
What?
Why don't? Okay, where's the other 30% going is what I'd like to know. But the other thing is, really? I mean, why don't we just give it to them then? Why are we giving billions of dollars to pay us back with the money that we gave?
Exactly.
Well, because we don't want to be a part of the war. Well, we are. As is France, as is United Kingdom, why is Germany? They're all a part of it because they're giving them weapons.
Correct.
But something has got to change.
I'm going to play a couple comments here. I'll do it from Megan. And when a Marine breaks out the knife hand in the Oval Office, you know you've effed up. That's absolutely, that. What I liked about it, and we'll get into some more comments here, was the fact that Donald Trump let JD Vance exactly make the point. I got to be honest with you. I've never seen a president and vice president relationship like this one. Guys are one and the same. They're on the same page. They're fighting the same fight, and they're both for America first. Remember when he announced JD Vance was going to be his running mate? And people, and even some that were on our network, back and forth, like, oh my God, I just think that's a terrible choice. I just think, and I remember texting and saying, I think you guys are going to be quite surprised at what you see in this guy.
I was one of them.
And
I admit.
Yep. You admit it. You thought it was kind of a risky, or like, why him of all people? And
now we know why.
Can we now admit Vice President Vance is absolutely the right choice, and the right choice to fill the shoes of President Trump in the future. I don't think we have to wait 4 years to make that decision.
Could you see Mike Pence doing that?
Oh my God, no.
Yeah, so
absolutely.
So he learned. President Trump learned from his first administration that I need a strong vice president. And folks, I don't know if you noticed when they were in the Oval Office having the discussion, President Trump let JD Vance talk.
That's right.
There are a lot of times that President Trump will want to interrupt, and he let him go.
Then
the only time President Trump got involved is when Zelenskyy was sitting there saying to us, well, you got an ocean between us, which I'm sick and tired of hearing that. I'm sick. In today's war, oceans, does it really matter? Okay.
Doesn't matter.
Anyway, but then he says, you're going to come up on your shore. And President Trump's like, you're not going to tell us what we're going to do. So he was defending the United States of America. The left doesn't like it when presidents defend us because according to the left, we're evil. We're bad. And remember in 2021 or 2022 when Joe Biden had the same type of reaction?
It was 2022. It was 2022 when he had the phone call. You need to get
your act together.
Yeah. You are ungrateful.
Where was the leftist media then? Yeah.
Nope. They were. Oh, yeah. They were. Of course, none of that was said. You have. This is a. I'm going to put this up there from say what. Which welcome, by the way. I don't know if we've had you join us, so we're glad. Somebody, or some group violated the Logan Act with some bad coaching for Z. And we know that he had a meeting with Democrats before that meeting with President Trump.
Okay,
that came out.
I was just going to ask you.
Yeah.
Do you think that he was coached from the left?
I 100%
combative because
100%.
This agreement was a done deal. Okay,
it was supposedly a done deal.
Zelenskyy is a punk ass that needs to get kicked to the curb. Good
I agree.
point, Aiken, because I completely agree with you. You can be pro
Yes.
peace without being pro
Without being pro Putin. I mean, I don't understand again, I just don't understand when you have a president who is fighting for peace, not war, and yet the left, because the left are the warmongers. The rhinos are the warmongers. We know these people. So Buckeye, the moment showed us all why Vance was chosen. That's it. Time and time again, his speech in Europe, there's just no, Vance is the right guy, and I'm
going to tell you from a guy who I liked him. Don't get me wrong. I mean, my wife is a huge fan of him from watching the movie, reading the book. She's read it all. She knew all about him. She knew all about him going into it. I didn't. I admit. I had my favorites, but then as I got to hear him talk,
It's
I'm like, okay,
clear.
I'm starting to feel a little bit. And then watching him since he's become vice president, I am completely 100% sold, and I feel very confident that he is going to be the next president of the United States in 2028 and 2032. I truly believe we are going to have Republican rule for 12 years. I just
with free and fair elections, of course.
Strength.
By the way, let me play a little bit more of Trump, of Zelensky, and then we'll get into some of the Sunday shows that nobody watches. But here's a little bit of
Maybe he did. I don't know what happened, but he didn't break them with me. He wants to make a deal. I don't know if you can make a deal. The problem is I've empowered you to be a tough guy. And I don't think you'd be a tough guy without the United States. And your people are very brave. But you're either going to make a deal or we're out. And if we're out, you'll fight it out. I don't think it's going to be pretty, but you'll fight it out. But you don't have the cards. But once we sign that deal, you're in a much better position. But you're not acting at all thankful. And that's not a nice thing. I'll be honest, that's not a nice thing. All right, I think we've seen it.
Yeah, so that's where that ends. But is he wrong? I mean, is he doesn't have the cards. He doesn't have and then all of a sudden, go on.
No, go ahead.
No. Please finish your thought.
No, it's the whole point is the cards. All right. Right now, Ukraine is on the verge of being crushed. Okay. Russia is, at some point in time, they're going to say, okay, we've had enough. North Korea is helping them now. The second group of North Korean soldiers have gone into Russia. So they're going to eventually. So right now is the time to say, okay, I at least want to keep my country. So let's do it. Let's stop. Let's negotiate. Let's see where we're at. And then go from there. Because that's what's got to happen. And Putin doesn't. Do you think the Russian people want this to happen? The Russian people don't want that to happen. They're being controlled by Putin and the oligarchs, not the United States.
Correct.
Okay. But they're being controlled by the oligarchs and Putin. All right. That's who controls them. They don't want this. Do you think the oligarchs care if 20-year-olds are dying in a war for them? They don't give a shit.
They don't care. Oh, they don't give a shit. Yeah, they don't give a shit.
So anyway, the whole thing that he has the cards if he comes to negotiation with us. We're the key.
He does.
Why do you think the UK Prime Minister and the French Prime Minister are getting together to talk about how Zelensky can get back in good graces with Trump? And guess what's happening tomorrow, by the way?
What?
Zelensky's coming back.
Oh, is he coming back to the United States?
I believe tomorrow? I saw that on Fox.
Did you see that? I didn't know if I saw that.
Right before we got on, I believe that they have a meeting tomorrow. I thought I saw that. Maybe I was wrong.
Yeah,
but
he has no choice. I want to play Marco Rubio, who was on Snuffleupagus,
and then I have something to play right after that.
Okay, so here's Marco Rubio trying to explain to George, Clinton's ex-aide, exactly what is happening here. It's amazing how the left is portraying this. It's not amazing. It's absolutely clockwork to me. It's obvious, that this was the way that meeting was going to be played out on the left. But here's Marco Rubio, who I'm liking more and more. So explaining this to good old George.
All right. So you know what do you know what the United Nations resolution was? I'll tell you if you want to hear what it was. It basically said this has been a horrible war. It's time for it to end. The job of the UN is to bring about peace in the world. I thought that's what the UN was created to do, to stop wars and to prevent them. And that's what the resolution did. Was it antagonistic towards the Russians? No. Back to the point. But it also didn't praise the Russians. All it said is, this is a bad war. It needs to end. And by the way, at the Security Council, which has not been widely reported, the first resolution on Ukraine that has passed the Security Council in 3 years, passed this week because of the leadership of President Trump. And it's a resolution that says, bad war needs to end. Let's bring the two sides together. That's what the resolution is. Again, what is the United Nations for? Isn't it not a forum to promote peace in the world? And shouldn't our president, shouldn't we all be happy that we have a president who's trying to stop wars and prevent them instead of start them? And I just don't get it. I really don't, other than the fact that it's Donald J. Trump. If this was a Democrat that was doing this, everyone would be saying, well, he's on his way to the Nobel Peace Prize. This is absurd. We are trying to end a war. You cannot end a war unless both sides come to the table, starting with the Russians. And that is the point the president has made. And we have to do whatever we can to try to bring them to the table to see if it's even possible. I'm not promising you it's possible. I'm not telling you it's 90% likely. I'm saying it's 0% likely if we don't get them to a negotiating table. And the sooner everyone grows up around here and figures out that this is a bad war, that it's heading in a bad direction with death and destruction and all kinds of dangers surrounding it that could spiral into a broader conflict. The sooner people grow up and realize that, I think the more progress we're going to be able to make. But the president's crystal clear. He campaigned on it and he's going to govern on it. And that is, he is going to be a president that tries to achieve peace. And he has been very clear. This is a war that would have never happened had Donald Trump been in the White House, and it needs to end. And we're going to do everything we can to end it in an enduring and sustainable and fair way.
Could it have been said better? When everybody grows up,
That's why he's
when everybody grows up and realizes, and that's a great shot to those idiots there on the left and in Congress. When you grow up and you realize what is happening here, and it's not that they don't realize it. Let's not pretend that they don't know.
the big boys are in charge now.
Play what you're going to play right after the Rubio.
Well, because this is a follow-up to the Dems' reaction to the leftist reaction to Rubio. Okay. Now watch this.
Marco Rubio was there. He didn't participate in the conversation, but he was with the National Security Advisor when they asked Zelenskyy to leave the White House after that blow-up. And he has been very supportive of what happened in that meeting. You voted to approve his nomination to be Secretary of State. You still think you made the right choice?
Nope, it was a mistake. It was a mistake.
Oh
I think a lot of us thought that Marco Rubio was going to stand up to Donald Trump on an issue like this, that when Donald Trump decided to align America with dictatorships, again, in order to make it easier for him
Same shit over
to
again.
steal from the American people, to turn America into an illiberal democracy.
Did you catch that, folks? For him to steal from the American people. Have you paid attention, Mr. Murphy, what is going on? Because I don't respect you enough to call you senator. What has been going on with Doge? Who's been stealing our money?
Who's been stealing our money?
In which, just like Russia, the oligarchs, the economically powerful people in America rule, and the rest of us just feed the powerful. I thought when Donald Trump decided to do that, when Donald Trump would come to him and say, help me move America closer to Russia and to Russian values, Marco Rubio would stand up to him. Marco Rubio has not, and that's been a great disappointment to many of his former colleagues in the Senate.
He didn't just say
first
that.
of all, Dana Bash, right?
That's a senator.
Right? Dana Bash was the...
Yes, that was Dana Bash.
Okay, watch her. Just
Way to come back with hard-hitting questions, Dana.
Well, her reactions. I mean, I had a reaction here with Christine Amanpour afterwards. If nobody watched it on CNN, it's priceless, because Dana Bash, we know you're leftist, we get it, but don't go on a show called State of the Union. Because State of the Union, you should have bilateral discussions, right? This and that. She's terrible. She's horrible.
Terrible. Dana
and
Bash
you
is
can
terrible.
tell
Always has been.
the look that she gives the left or the right when she's talking to him. She also notice how she let him talk.
She let him talk.
She
Didn't interrupt.
She didn't interrupt. I mean, this is
Correct.
a Sean Hannity thing. You and I talked about this before.
Yep.
Sean Hannity allows somebody to come on of different opinion. You never hear the guy's opinion because Sean Hannity won't let him talk.
And I'll tell you before, go. I'll tell you,
No.
that's the one credit I will give to George Stephanopoulos is that he let Marco Rubio speak. So I give him credit for that. That's the only thing I'll get.
So real quick, let's play this that I was talking about, the clip. Now, folks, watch the reaction. This is why CNN sucks. All right.
Well,
Look at her face. I mean, Christian, hold that thought for once. Okay, actually, Christian,
just look
please.
at they're smiling.
Take
They're
it
just
away.
giddy.
Never in
First of all, do you see Dana Bash's? Doesn't that look like the Joker? Her smile.
Yeah, look at her.
Really?
What's with her mouth? You're right.
Anyway, I'm not
she always have that?
mean.
Does
she
she
looks
always
like the
have
Joker.
that?
I'm just saying.
of modern diplomacy, war, peace, whatever, have I ever seen anything like it? We just have to hope that for the safety of the free world and for the American people, for the European people, for the Ukrainian people, that these two presidents get out of breath and try to iron out their differences. This was an entirely personal go-to with so many mistruths and misfacts. J.D. Vance, who once said about Ukraine, I don't really care about whatever happens to Ukraine, says to Zelensky, who spent a long time for what
Christian,
this.
Yeah. Your microphone sucks. I don't know what they pay you. I understand my internet. I'm not part of a huge cable news network, but
yeah, she's their senior foreign news person.
Oh, we know who. Yeah, we know who she is, and the stuff she is saying is I can't even. Why doesn't anybody watch these people anymore? They literally. Go on.
She sits there and talks about the European Union, Dale. The European Union.
Yeah.
Who two of the major players in the European Union have just gotten together to put a plan together to get Zelensky back to making a deal with Trump. Because as much as Europe may hate us, right? They may hate us because they hate the fact that America's free. America can choose what we want to choose. But the one thing that they understand, the world needs the United States of America. If the world did not have a strong America, where would this world be right now? China and Russia.
I trust the European Union as much as I trust Kamala Harris.
Completely agree.
I don't whatsoever. This was reported on Newsmax, and I want to make sure, and then we'll get the Grit Gear real quick. We got bottom of the hour. We'll get a break in. We haven't really talked about much of anything else, but this is big. This is
the
news.
big story.
So, this is big news. So this was reported on Newsmax.
Sorry.
I'm assuming it to be true, but here's why maybe the deal fell apart in front of the American media in the Oval Office because of this. And it's bullcrap that the European Union is promising Ukraine. So listen to this.
Change the fact that on the 17th of January, the British signed an agreement with Ukraine to have exclusive rights to those deals. Kershaw, this is a battle of dueling narratives. You can go check it out. This is on the British UK website. It talks about this 100-year Ukraine and
Did you hear this?
UK signed a 100-year deal over security guarantees and economic development. So what happened is that I believe President Trump and his team found out that they were being played. So this has become a set of dueling narratives. The BBC just said today there's massive protests here. Zach Andrews just said all the European leaders are behind Zelensky. We are being played. We, the United States, are trying to be signed up to a deal that we provide security guarantees to a economic development deal that Keir Starmer has already signed them up to do. So the first thing it has to do is people have to take a step back and be honest with what's really going on. And so I think what happened here, I don't know the details. It wasn't in that meeting. But Kershaw, the president was trying to play a straight line deal to sign an agreement with them over this minimal rights deal, knowing full well that the British had already signed on this 3 days before his inauguration. So where we go from here is both sides, if this is going to work, if the Europeans really want our help, they're going to have to take a step back and start being honest with the United States about what's really going on.
That's what I'm saying. I again, I 100% believe that to be true.
Mhm.
And if that's the case, yeah, the European Union and the Brits, and there's tension here. What happens from here? I don't know, Jim. You
Okay,
know, I
fine.
don't know.
You guys are there.
Yeah.
You guys are connected to two of the most
Yeah.
evil countries in this world. We're not.
Correct. We are not.
We're connected to two idiot countries. but
Yeah.
you need us.
Yes.
The world needs us because
The world
we
needs a
still
strong
have
America.
that navy.
Yeah.
Now,
And
China's trying to catch us.
Yeah.
But we have superiority on the water. And
We do.
And you need us. So hate us, fine. Because you don't have to like us. Remember the whole term you always say, you don't have to like me.
You don't have to like me.
Let's work this out. Let's talk like adults.
Correct. Okay? Yep. Well, Canada now is going to help by sending over their military jets. They have 63.
Yeah. Okay.
63 military jets. What are you sending over? 1?
Mm-hmm.
10? You're going to send 16% of your entire Air
because
Force?
we're their security.
Yeah, that's why. That's right. Your 51st state. So, folks, listen, let's hear from Grit Gear and Lock and Load Coffee, and we will be right back.
Grit is defined as firmness of character, unyielding courage in the face of hardship or danger. At Grit Gear Apparel, we honor all military, police, fire, public service, and patriotic Americans, both men and women regardless of color, creed, or religion. Our brand represents the love and freedom for our country, the heroism of all our men and women, and the principles of what this wonderful country was built on. Our goal is to regenerate the sense of patriotism and to spark the American pride within us, to stand together in the toughest times and become victorious, to preserve all our freedoms, to honor our flag, and to respect the men and women who have fought and died for us to have these freedoms. Wear our brand with pride, with a sense of patriotism, and as a statement for the love of our country. Whether you're military, public official, or civilian, our brand is for you. Together we stand as Americans.
Yep, we do stand as Americans. Thank you, Buckeye, as always, right on cue, and Jim for putting it up there. GritGearApparel.com, LockandLoadCoffee.com. I don't know. Every show, we say it, right? Go support these. It's a small business, family owned and operated, veteran supported. A lot of their funds go towards the Warrior Shield Foundation, which you saw last Wednesday evening. And thank you for those who tuned in for that special.
Thank you very much.
Which then in turn goes to true organizations like the Corporal Chad O Foundation. So the trickle down of it all is the fact that you spend your money at Grit Gear Apparel and Lock and Load Coffee, and you spend a little less because you used coupon code 2GUYS. You get 10% off every order. And a portion of that goes right back into the Warrior Shield, which then goes to, I mean, literally you're helping veterans and first responders, a small business, a family owned and operated business, and great people, just great,
And
true American people.
You will find, it may be hard to find two better human beings
It
than
might
Rich
be.
and Sharon. And I'm not just saying that. They are truly awesome people.
Yep.
He gets a little mean sometimes, but he's truly awesome.
Thank God for Sharon, honestly.
Yeah, thank God for Sharon. Yeah.
Thank God for Sharon. So, but really, folks, please go support them if you will. You're just helping out great people.
You will not be disappointed in the coffee. I am telling you right now. It is great coffee.
Or the gear. Oh yeah, I got their new Grit Gear hat.
Yep,
So
the new
leather
Grit Gear
patch
hat,
Grit Gear hat. There it is, folks. I'll leave it off the rest of the show. Yeah, that's not me. I wear my glasses on my head.
No one's going to recognize you.
No one's going to recognize me. But here, Grit Gear Apparel.
Grit Gear.
It's a great.
You're right. Let no one tell you we are not at war here in the U.S. The Democrats want to continue to spread lies, and they continue to want the left and right at war with each other because
no doubt about it.
They don't like what Doge is doing.
Yep.
The Dems do not like what Doge is doing.
They absolutely
finding bad things.
And the and the
it's
Pentagon
not just us.
information
folks.
comes out today too, Jim.
If anybody
those.
hasn't paid attention, the Ukrainian ambassador, Oksana, I think it's Makarova.
Of course it is.
Did anybody see her reaction?
Oh, show that. And while that was going on in the Oval Office, she was sitting there.
Look at her.
Ask our people about ceasefire, what they think.
Yeah. Look at that reaction. Play it again, Jim. Just real quick for those who, you know, her reaction.
Because you get a ceasefire faster than an agreement.
Ask our people about ceasefire, what
Yeah.
they think.
See, that is somebody that was not informed how he was going to react, because
Yep,
she's
correct.
just like, you just blew it.
Yep.
You just blew it.
You just blew it. Yeah. You blew it, you little
So
weasel.
say, sit there and tell us all you want. Say what you want about us, whatever, it's him and everything else. And no, I'm sorry. That's not what's going on here. President Trump and Vice President J.D. Vance stuck up, finally stuck up for the United States of America and us.
And us.
Because our tax money was going there. Our tax
That's right.
money's being wasted.
On that crap. I can't go through a show almost without a clip of Stephen Miller.
Yep.
Deputy White House Secretary Stephen Miller.
There's
I
people
just
out there
can't.
don't like him.
Because
Can you
he's
believe that?
smarter than everybody in the room. Trust me. Here he is.
He
I think
lets
he was
you
on
know it,
Jesse
too.
Waters. Yeah, I think he was on Jesse Waters. And about the meeting. Here's what he had to say. Again, Stephen Miller, classic Stephen Miller. I could listen to him all day.
Had any idea that Zelenskyy would be so impertinent, so disrespectful, so insulting to the United States of America? Look, this is one of the great moments in the history of American diplomacy. The way that President Trump and J.D. Vance stood up for American interests on the world stage, the way that President Trump defended Americans after years of being fleeced and abused and taken advantage of and taken for granted, millions of American hearts swelled with overflowing pride today to watch President Trump put Zelenskyy in his place. The only reason that Zelenskyy has a country, that Zelenskyy is in power, is because of the United States.
Yep.
Americans have suffered economically fighting this war now for years. American security has been degraded, our stockpiles depleted, our ability to project power in other regions of the world negatively affected to protect and defend Ukraine. Americans probably don't even know the true extent of just how much military support.
Listen, is he wrong? Is he wrong?
No.
This has been going on far too long, and I think it ends. And if you said that he's coming back to the White, this guy's. I wish I could have traveled the world like Zelenskyy, don't you? And collected the funding he's collected. He's a tyrant. He is no better than Putin at all. Maybe worse. I don't even know. I don't know, but they're no different.
Here's Waltz. I got two more things to play if you don't mind. Here's Waltz.
Go ahead, and then we'll move on.
On Ukraine. Okay. Here's Waltz.
Had a meeting after that exchange, after the press was asked to leave, and we advised the president, pretty much unanimously advised the president that after that insult in the Oval Office, we just do not see how that could move forward, that any further engagement would only go backwards from this moment on. And that's what we walked over and told President Zelenskyy and his team. And let me just talk something very quickly, that this was some kind of ambush. Right. That is absolutely and categorically false.
Yep. I think Trump and Vance were ambushed by the Democrats.
I agree.
By the
100%.
meetings before, by the European Union.
100%.
I think that's what happened, and they knew it, and they sensed it, and they said, bullshit, and enough's enough. Enough's enough. We're done. I think Zelenskyy, the way he was looking there, during all of that, I think he knew, I was
not given the proper information.
Yeah, I was not given the proper information. Correct. I did not know it was going to go this way. Jim, what else you got for us? Let's go
real quick to wrap this up.
Oh,
it
yeah.
Could, I never thought it could be said better than 10 seconds, less than 10
seconds.
This
10-second clip.
This is exactly perfect.
Pro Zelensky. No, y'all not. Y'all could miss me with that. Y'all are not pro Zelensky. Y'all just anti-Trump. That's all it is. Bye.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. Could not have said it any better than that.
You're not pro Zelensky. You're pro pocketing your own money. You're pro this war continuing because you either have stock in defense contracts or you defense companies or you're getting some money. This has been just an absolutely amazing money grab for everybody, including Zelensky. And so, of course, they are not pro Zelensky at all. There's no possible way. Yeah. Jim, any comments? Are we good? Or here, Grit Gear. Going. No more funds for you. The adult turn charge again. Absolutely agree.
Well, you're right. Even if, but it wasn't an ambush. But even if it was, who cares? I mean, I agree. This has been going on too long, and it needs to stop.
And it does need to stop.
This is what happens when you have leaders leading.
Yeah. And I'll tell you why I do care if it was pre-planned that Trump and Vance were going to ambush him like that. I don't think that would have been right either. This was not that situation. I can't believe the left is portraying it that way. That kind of that kind of talk, and those weren't pre-planned. That was from a true America First stance. That this is what you did this, and here's our initial response, and we're going to let the world see it, and we're going to show you, you little son of a bitch, who's in charge here. So I don't think it was at all. Here we go. Someone's got in Z's air before the meeting to puff his chest out. Tarna, that's what we're saying. He met with the Democrats. I think that's exactly what happened, and that's where we go from there. Jim, what are you doing down there? I'm relying on you to play something else.
Hold on, just a second.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
Yep, just a second. So you just want me to what happened?
Okay. So if we're moving on a little bit,
we are,
guys.
We're moving on from Zelensky. We'll see what happens. Stay tuned. It's going to be incredible.
What Doge is doing. Okay, we're starting to hear more about these NGOs, and this is going to lead into our next discussion on Pam Bondi and the Epstein list.
Yep.
And
so here we go,
and then we can move on to our top 5. But I pay attention to what is being found. And guys, this is in San Antonio, Texas. $18 million
in San Antonio.
A week or something. What we'll hear it here, but watch this. Just watch.
Of Government Efficiency, or DOGE, has targeted a nonprofit based here in San Antonio, saying its contract for $215 million a year is canceled. News 4 San Antonio I-Team Waste Watch reporter Jay Avila has this story live from the Content Center.
Mandy, in a post on X, DOGE said the Department of Health and Human Services had terminated a contract paying Family Endeavors $18 million a month to operate an empty facility in West Texas.
The organization is also known as Endeavors, and you may have seen its administrative headquarters and wellness center on De Zavala Road, where it has a cluster of buildings and storefronts. DOGE focused on an overflow housing facility for migrant families Endeavors operates in Pecos, Texas, which DOGE says has been sitting empty, while Endeavors has been receiving the $18 million per month. Homeland Security reposted DOGE's X post, tagging U.S. Attorney Ed Martin with the words, "Please investigate," to which Martin responded, "Duly noted. We are on it." Wow. I went to Endeavor's San Antonio headquarters today to get a comment from the organization. They responded late this afternoon by email. Endeavors was responsible for maintaining operational readiness at the Pecos shelter, ensuring the ability to scale from cold status, operationally ready but not actively serving children, children to full use of 3,000 beds as needed. Decisions regarding facility use and migrant sheltering locations were made by the federal government, not Endeavor's. Any claims of corruption or mismanagement are baseless. Doge also claims Endeavor's received its HHS contract in 2021 after a former ICE employee and Biden transition team member joined the nonprofit.
Oh my God.
Endeavor's government disclosure forms show its revenues shot up in 2021 from $50 million to $658 million, reaching a peak of $1.1 billion in 2022.
What? Are you kidding me?
Guys, I laugh because it is not funny, but this is what the defense is fighting, or this is what the Democrats are fighting against.
This is what they're
fighting Doge
against.
is bad. Doge is
They're
bad.
dying.
How many of these NGOs are affiliated with Dems? Have you been paying attention?
Yeah.
I mean, this a Biden, a person in his administration was on the board.
Yeah.
$18 million a month to an empty building.
So it could be ready for 3,000 beds.
There's no accountability. Here's $10 billion. Well, do I need to show you where? Nah, don't worry about it. Stacey Abrams, here's $2 billion for your green movement and your save the climate down in Georgia. Here you go. Okay, but here's what. No, don't need to care. Don't care what you're spending on. Okay.
Have you?
If my wife gives me $10, she wants to know what it's spent on. I'm just.
Yeah. Have you ever? So how many buildings do we drive by that are empty with names of something on it? And how many of those are out there? Countless, endless, probably.
Hopefully they're being found.
Hopefully they
Because,
are
guys,
like this.
That's $18 million a month.
Yeah.
What were they doing with the money?
Filling wallets, heading to Vegas.
That's and getting Democrats getting donations, Democrats getting funds.
Correct.
And
Correct.
That's what's going on, folks, and that's what it is, and that's what we're dealing with. So those of us who support what Doge is doing, this is what's being found. But the Dems don't want to talk about that.
You can't pay $1 million to Al Sharpton for a 10-minute Al Sharpton interview to promote you at your presidential campaign without money coming in from somewhere, right?
And
you tell me.
We also found out that a lot of this money, whether it's through NGOs or whether it's through these bills that are being passed, was also going into CNN and MSNBC.
Correct.
Now that has stopped, you notice what's going on. They're laying people off, because those of us who couldn't understand why Rachel Maddow was making the tens and 20 millions of dollars a year.
Yep. Correct.
With what, 150 to 500,000 viewers? How is that possible?
Yep.
Well, we know how, right?
We know now. NGOs.
And so it's
NGOs and government fund.
Why this liberal media is for the liberals, because they were
Jim,
folks that stopped.
Jim, thank you for playing that. I did not know that. It's incredible. I did have a survey on from CNN on the approval for Ukraine now. Anyways, it does. I don't need to get into that. We passed that already. Maybe
before we get into, I want to play this. Okay,
you got to talk about Epstein files.
Nope,
I need credit. Okay, why?
Here we go.
Darn it. I got to run to work.
Eddie's out there saying good morning. Now he's talking about how Dale did an excellent job on Babylon Betrayal. Folks, if you haven't seen it yet, please go out and watch it. It's at the BabylonBetrayal.com. You can also watch it on Rumble on our channel, Patriots Prayer Network. Dale, Mr. Dale. By the way, you won't recognize him. He's not wearing a hat. So he did a fantastic job, folks. I'm telling you, you got to go out and check it out. So Dale, congratulations.
Hey, thank you, brother. Fantastic. Appreciate that. Thank you. Then I want to thank Eddie for the opportunity
Buckeye
to be a part
mentioned
of
it too. Buckeye
Great.
mentioned
Thank
it
you all.
up earlier. So
appreciate it. I hate watching myself or hearing myself. So I don't, the odds of me watching that probably are slim to none. But so you all tell me.
We never like watching or listening to ourselves. Right?
No, I hate it.
I hate it because we don't like the way we sound. But you did a great job. You really did.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you. Thank you for playing that. That's very, very nice of you. At any rate, the Buckeye.
And Buckeye knows.
That's right.
Buckeye knows.
She wouldn't blow smoke up our ass. She would tell the truth. And I appreciate that.
Aiken's not as nice as Buckeye.
Oh, I bet. Where did
No,
he say it?
he can never say anything,
Yet.
but Aiken, I'm still upset about the hee-haw comment. I'm sorry.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. I can't get enough of it. Jim, let's talk about real quick.
Yeah.
Where is the Southern District of New York arrests? Where is the Epstein files? Where are the perp walks? Where's the client list? Full client list. What is Pam Bondi doing? A week ago, we said we're giving you a little grace here. That grace is come and gone, period.
Mm-hmm.
Something, what is happening? I know there's still a coup out there in the FBI that needs to be cleaned up. I get it. You're not going to clean up, you're not going to find all these people within the first week of you being in charge, Cash Patel. I get that. But something's going on there. We're walking around with all these binders. Here's the part that pissed me off, to be honest with you. They've got all these binders and are walking around showing them. Look, did they open the binder before they decided to show that, walk out of the White House with them or the Capitol building? So I'm just a little bit, I agree. It's a fiasco. And I'm going to tell you, it's been a fiasco. And Pam Bondi needs to get her shit together. Jim, you want to play something before you get into you have a theory.
Yeah.
No. You have a theory as to why you think this is taking it. And I haven't heard this theory. And so I'm a little intrigued.
I shared it with my wife last night because I'm more and more convinced now. I don't think this is a conspiracy theory, folks. I think the Clintons are all over this.
Okay.
And I think that's why it's being held up in New York. Why it hasn't been presented, because when the Clintons are involved, there's others involved as well. But I think the Clintons have their fingers all over this, and I don't think he just visited the island 27 times.
No, of course
I think he was an active participant in what Epstein was doing. Now, again, my opinion, I'm not, I'd have no proof, but it just seems to me with the secretive nature that always surrounds this stuff. You notice the Clintons' names are always a part of it. Yeah. And no one speaks because why does no one speak? Because that's the last time you speak.
Because you're Arkansas.
I mean, yeah. Or how many suicides? I mean, if you just go out there and look at all the people affiliated with the Clintons who have suicided themselves. I mean, it's insane out there. But that's my theory. I'm just throwing it out there because none of this makes sense.
To me, that's
why
the
didn't
right
Pam Bondi go into the? Why didn't she send with a warrant, walk in there, stop, cease and
you're
desist.
Arrested. You're fired. You're gone. You're coming with me. What is going on there? That I don't disagree with that at all. I mean, obviously, to me, the Clintons are deep into this. I do agree with that. New York, Southern District, which is corrupt in general, which we knew that. But the fact that their direct orders have been violated from the president down to the attorney general, and here we are a week later, and what is going on with it?
They have refused their boss's request. You don't do that unless you feel you have somebody behind you. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm going to say.
Mm-hmm.
And I
agree.
Well, actually, that's not all I'm going to say. You know me better than that.
Yeah, you're going to say more.
Say a lot of things, but that's just my opinion. I think that's why it's being held up, because I think
Jim, just by saying it's your opinion does not take the target off your back from the Clintons. I just want you to know.
Speaking of, thank you, Buckeye. Please note, Dale and Jim are not suicidal.
We did not hang ourselves.
No, just so you know. Not. Sorry to the point.
Oh, what did you say? We pretty much have
the same show notes, except you guys raised the bar.
Oh, shut up.
High. Maybe I'll take this week off. LOL. Maybe not.
No,
there's usually some more intelligent ways to put it, guys.
You got your show's great. There's no.
When the Clintons are involved in anything, people show up on the park benches.
They do. I mean, it's true. So I don't disagree. What did Gritgear say down there?
If she doesn't get this done, she should be fired from the position. Yep.
I agree.
I don't know why she hasn't done.
Well, you don't walk around and tell everybody that I've got the file on my desk. Look at these binders. The whole thing, the whole thing is absolutely insane to me. And then nothing. What is happening? Yep.
Yes. Thank you, Bud.
please, So.
I did not stab myself 87 times. I didn't.
In the back. Yeah. So hey, listen, I'm in total agreement with you. I think that's absolutely true. The Clintons are deep into this. Obviously, they were before. We kind of knew that. But as far as what's going on in the Southern District of New York and in that FBI office, clearly, there's influence there. So, which is still, it's still baffling to me because is there not? Is Pam Bondi afraid? Like what can't we get to? I think they've destroyed evidence. I think it's probably going to take somebody like Elon Musk with the IT guys, the 19-year-olds, to go into see what was
what's being
bleached
shredded
or
right
scrubbed from hard drives.
Keep in mind, guys, Epstein, when they went into his house or his Manhattan, well, I guess you can't call it a house, but his Manhattan home, I think it was Manhattan. They walked in. Do you remember I don't know if you guys remember how many cameras he had throughout his place. You don't think he had cameras on the island? You don't think he had people? You don't think he said, "Hey, you're gonna do this for me"? No, I'm not. Oh yeah, I've got this video.
I've got this.
We know he was scum. Okay, so we know that's how he manipulated people. That's how he got people to do what they have. So I'm worried what's being destroyed. Honest to God, I'm worried about what's being destroyed. And Pam Bondi, for one, I'm just a little disappointed because there should be warrants going into that office and people should be fired because they literally refused their boss. Refused.
Correct. Here's to the point. Why haven't we seen former agents in cuffs yet? He also added, I want perp walks. Me too. Here's agree, Mike. And then Buckeye. Exactly. I think the documents she wants have been destroyed. I think so too. But why tell us you got the files on your desk and then this binder? That's the part that really just kind of baffles me is the fool you made out of yourself by presenting this, hey, inside this book right here, I've got every Epstein client and everything that happened there. And then I open it up and, oh shit, it's blank pages. Did you look? The fool she made out of herself. I'm a little pissed off about it. To be honest,
I told you right when she came out that I was very upset that she did it. Yeah. Don't tell me you have it on your desk. Now, folks, for those of you out there, she's not covering up President Trump's name. Because if President Trump's name was on that list, it would have been released.
It would have been out.
There's no question about it.
So the left and the lefty weirdos out there all over the Twitterverse can say, hey, listen, she's covering up because Trump was on there as well. Bullshit. Again, it would be out there for the world to see. So what's that?
Whatever the plan was, the influencers and binders, it was a failure. Agreed, Mike.
That's an epic failure.
The administration is perfect. And with the administration, something has to change. We can't keep doing the status quo. We can't. So mistakes were going to be made. Things were going to happen. This is one of those mistakes, I think. Just don't say it. Just don't say it. But you're right. They were, I believe they were, I don't even think they were. Yeah, I think they were.
Yeah, I don't even. Yeah, I agree. I believe they were destroyed on November 6th, 2024. And then Tarna says they don't say
then don't say
on your desk. That's what I'm saying. And don't come out parading these binders. Like, what are you doing? To the point, I'd be pissed if I went to Washington to be part of that charade. Me too.
Well, Mike, first of all, we have moral compasses to a point.
Yeah, I know.
So we would not be a part of their charade. We just wouldn't.
Can you imagine going into your boss saying, hey, I've got the report done. It's here on my desk. And you start showing it and you open it up and there's no report in it. How do you think your boss would be? So I don't know the conversation President Trump might have had with the attorney general after that, but I hope it was as stern as it was to Zelenskyy.
Yeah. And those of you waiting for the JFK and the Luther King files, I could be very wrong, but there's going to be a lot of black marks on this thing. Do you honestly believe if the federal government was involved in either one of those assassination attempts, which we believe they were, right? If it was proof, they can't let that out. They cannot put that out. So all of you who are excited, I hope everything's in there that needs to be in there.
Of course the government was involved in both of those.
But they're going to it's going to be strongly redacted, and you're not going to see it. You're not going to. You're going to be disappointed. Let me just say that.
They also were involved in the 2 attempts on President Trump's life.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I'd go first. That's what I would get to first if I was Trump. I'd be like, okay, here's what we're bringing out now. And then there's even ties to the second guy who was at the golf course because he was a Ukraine and Zelensky lover, you know,
he was a Democrat.
supporter.
You saw him getting off the bus to do a Democrat.
So there's even a
protest.
connection there. They're like, oh, Ukraine. And why would Ukraine not want President Trump? I said, why would Ukraine not want Kamala Harris still in there funding the war for him and his pocketbook? So
we know where the money's going.
Of course it does.
We also know where the money's going to, because it now looks like all these protests are going on in the Democrats. They're paid. So now we know where some of that money's going as well.
Yeah.
If you have to pay people to show the pro-life individuals that show up to Planned Parenthood, they're not being paid to show up.
They're not being paid. Yep. They've never even been accused of it because there'd be no proof. So there's proof that
crazy.
Soros is
It's
back to all
insane,
these
folks.
protests.
Yep,
It's insane.
They're being paid.
They're being paid. Jim, what's the time?
And before we get going on this, I have to say this before I forget. I have a niece that is turning 21 today. Darby.
Oh my gosh.
Happy birthday. Enjoy. Don't get too drunk. There's celebration next weekend. I will not name the university she goes to because it is the most disgusting smelling place that you could possibly go to. But
she goes to Michigan?
Oh, well. All right.
We all have different opinions about what is disgusting and smelling.
Happy birthday, Darby. Have a great day and enjoy. So,
and I also want to say this too, Jim, which I was waiting to the end of the show, but you jumped the gun on your announcement that I want to wish my wife, my beautiful wife, a very happy anniversary tomorrow. So we got to celebrate this past weekend with what we like to do, which is gamble, gamble, gamble. So it's a good time. That's all I could say. It was a great weekend, and I wish her a very, very happy anniversary. I can't even believe that she stays with me, but
and Mrs.
you know,
Dale,
hey,
when people say that Mrs. Jim deserves an award, you really deserve an award.
Oh.
So no, just kidding.
I married up,
happy
man.
Anniversary.
I married way up.
Yep, me
all
too.
I know.
Happy anniversary, two great people.
Yeah.
And I hope you
Thank
guys
you. I
enjoy it.
appreciate
Seriously,
it.
from the bottom of my heart. Happy anniversary. You guys are awesome.
Thank you, man. Yeah, I appreciate it. I'd be dead without her. Seriously. If you've known, I'd been dead without her. So
I'd still be in my parents' basement if I wouldn't have married Lori. So
that's probably where I would have been dead at. You know, so yeah, I do appreciate it. Yeah, thank you guys that are commenting on there. Appreciate it. Jim, top 5 in honor of the Oscars. Jim's favorite movie of all time. Wait, Wicked. Just didn't
First
run
of
the
all,
board.
it's not my favorite movie of all time.
Oh, I thought it was.
No, I enjoy it immensely, but it's not my favorite movie of all time.
Your favorite musical of all time. Your favorite musical
I would say
that was
I would probably
nominated
say
this year. Your favorite musical that was nominated this year.
And I don't know. I kind of like the musical with the transgender leader. Or whatever. I mean, did you listen to that music? It
sucked. Listen, what won? And I just reviewed the list. I don't care. I don't watch you. I'm not going to watch the award show. I'm not going to do anything like that. The only reason I would have is because Conan O'Brien, and I really like Conan O'Brien. Super underrated. I thought he was. I just really like him. Just his comedy, I just like it. I like his whatever. Doesn't matter. My point is that what won? Like best. I don't even know the movie. I've never heard of it. Best actor. I don't know who that was. Who won? I'm like, what?
Yeah,
I'm reading the names. I'm like, I don't know who you are, people. Jim, today.
Well,
top
first of all,
5
Mike,
overrated actors.
Mike, you are right, and my wife will be listening to this, and she will agree with you 100%. Not for me being a liberal. I was never a liberal, but I wasn't quite conservative as I needed to be. And she and her family, her mom and dad, kind of helped me see the way. So
Yep,
so you are correct with that one.
You are correct. So yeah, thank
Okay,
God.
so
This be
I
quite a
have-
different show.
I have some older ones, and I
Top
have some
5
newer ones.
overrated actresses. Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And we'll get to some of the ones that are coming up because there's some pretty good
Yep.
ones on here.
Yep.
Okay.
Number.
I don't get it. I mean, she's great as Meg in the Family Guy, but Mila Kunis, terrible. I just
You didn't
can't
like
do
her
it.
in Ted?
No, she's very attractive. Okay, but I just bad.
Just as
Sorry,
far as actress
bad.
goes, you didn't like her in
Yeah.
Black Swan? You didn't
No.
like the
Black Swan.
You didn't
I
like
never
the
saw
scene in Black Swan? Huh?
Anyway, my list, Dale. You can like her all you want. I think she's overrated. Just say. Number 4.
Okay, I just don't think overrated. Yes,
Brooke Shields.
Brooke Shields.
If there is a woman out there with less sex appeal, I need somebody to show it to me.
Whiny too. God,
I cannot. I don't get it. I just flat out never got it, and never. I get it. She's very old. She hasn't been relevant for a while, but overrated completely.
Before you go on, Jim, give me some time to comment on these, if you don't mind. So you're Brooke Shields. So I never really paid attention. I never liked her or disliked her. Didn't really care much about her. I agree, overrated. She did like her first movie, right? And then that was like all of a sudden she was a star, and that became her. She sucks. But even worse, like if you see any of her social media posts, they'll pop up on my wife's social media posts, and they're literally, she's whining about everything, like whining almost about like, I went to my plastic surgeon and this. I mean, like literally first world, like trying to be relevant, kind of whine. It's even worse, not acting.
When's the last time you went to your plastic surgeon?
Yeah, I mean, never. I mean, the next time will be the first time. So yeah, it's crazy, but good one, good choice.
Yeah.
Who's number 3?
Now here's where I think my last 3 are pretty good. All right, Kristen Stewart.
No doubt on everybody's list.
If we're gonna have the other guy from Twilight, we got to have the girl.
Yep. There's no doubt. She's terrible.
If anybody has watched the Snow White and the Huntsman, all right, the premise of that movie was good. She was terrible. I mean, she was terrible
in everything.
And anything I don't get it. Again, it's many of those things. And by the way, there was somebody that put not on this list yet, but anybody that puts Emma Watson on a list, I'm gonna have a problem.
I am too.
Hermione Granger.
Yeah, because of Harry
So
Potter,
anyway,
of course.
Number 2, I feel pretty confident about this one. Megan Fox.
Yeah,
very good looking.
She's not. Yes.
But I don't know why she's in all the movies she's in. Well, I do.
I don't.
Okay.
Because of that.
I know why. It's because she looks good.
Because of that. Yeah.
Terrible. Terrible. Overrated.
Terrible actress.
And if anybody knows me,
and I do, I know what's number 1. I knew it before the list started.
I could not stand this woman from the first time she came out.
Julia
Roberts. I don't. It's one movie she was in. Sorry, Grit Gear, you're gonna tell me whatever that movie she was with what's his face in England. I can't remember. Knob Creek or something, Knob Hill, whatever.
You don't think Erin Brockovich? You don't think she was decent in that?
She was
really.
The story of Erin Brockovich was great, but I can't
stand
stand
her. She did a good job in that. Though?
I can't stand her. I don't think she's.
I don't like her.
I just can't stand her. There's the only thing she was in that I liked, Pelican Brief. That was it. That was it.
Yeah, she was good in that. So if I think of an actress is good in 2 movies, I can't put them on overrated for me. You know what I mean?
I
understand
one.
I know. That's what I was saying. Jim, if you were listening, but apparently your listening skills are piss poor today, sir. I said, if I think an actress is good in 2 movies, I can't put them on my list. That had nothing to do with you.
Right.
I don't disagree that somebody would think an Officer and Gentleman, terrible movie, terrible acting, terrible everything. Agreed. That's kind of where she got her big start. Steel Magnolias. I mean, the movie is the movie, right? It is what it is.
Soon enough. Or was that Friday?
Oh my God. No movie. Yeah.
Sorry.
Ocean's 11. You didn't like her in Ocean's 11?
I can't.
Yeah.
I can't. I don't know what it is. I can't look at it.
Yeah.
And it has nothing to do with politics.
Can't
Folks.
look
I
at
hated her well before.
Yeah.
Dale will confirm this. I have
Yes.
disliked her for a long time.
Well, long time. I knew
All right,
who
so
his number
Aiken.
one was going to be.
Let me
Okay.
take this down and we'll play some Aiken here because he's got a pretty good list here. I like this.
Does he?
list. Natalie Portman, Amber
Heard,
Megan
of course.
Fox.
I thought Amber Heard's best acting performance was in The Trouble with Johnny Depp. But go on.
Kristen Stewart and Bette Midler. Those were hers. Those are good.
100%.
That's a good list.
That's a good list.
Buckeye, Lindsay Lohan, Jennifer
Lopez,
Kristen Stewart,
almost
Zendaya, and Megan Fox. I cannot disagree with this list at all.
Disagree with any of those.
Even though Zendaya was pretty good in The Greatest Showman. But
so that's what I'm saying, Jim. You know, how many movies have you seen? Have you seen Zendaya in the TV show? What is it? The one that's you watch it with your wife. It's like some sort of it's a yeah, I think so, isn't it? Isn't it her in that? Maybe. I don't know who I'm talking about.
Because I don't think she's in a television show. She was when she was a kid. My daughter watched it all the time.
Wasn't Zendaya in that like HBO series that or something like that? With, anyways, somebody correct me if I'm wrong. But do we have another? Great Gare's got one. Oh,
hold on.
Tarna, Sandra Bullock,
Ooh,
Angelina Jolie,
Helen Hunt
Gwyneth
almost
Paltrow.
made my list. Tarna,
Helen Hunt should make
almost
every
made
list.
my list. Gwyneth
You're not
Paltrow,
wrong.
Jennifer
I forgot
Garner.
about her.
I can't disagree with that.
A lot of similarities in these lists, and especially Great Gare's.
Great Gare, here we go.
Nicole Kidman. Agreed.
Olivia
Wilde. Megan Fox, Kristen Stewart, Amy Schumer, no doubt. She's a terrible human being in general. So, hey, listen, I'm going to get to my list now, Jim. If we're
Notting Hill,
are you?
Thank you, Grit Gear, because he liked Notting Hill, and it's terrible.
And so did Jim.
Where
the entire female cast of Bridesmaids.
Melissa McCarthy was in that.
No way.
She was great.
I think Kristen Wiig's funny too, man. I can't.
I love
think
Kristen
she's
Wiig.
funny too.
Anything she's in, I love her in. Yes.
Yeah, I
okay,
do too.
what's yours?
Okay, on to here we go. So there's a lot of similar. You'll recognize a lot of names as according to everybody's list here. My number 5, Anne Hathaway. She to me is your Julia Roberts in a way. I can't stand watching her in anything. She annoys the piss out of me. I don't think she's a great
she's one
actress.
of my favorites, so I can't
disagree.
disagree.
I cannot stand her. So I'm not going to defend it. I don't like her. Number 4, I have Nicole Kidman as well. I don't understand the attraction to her acting. I think her acting is the same and boring and very stiff in everything she does. I don't like her as an actress. She might be a fine person. I don't even know that. I'm just saying.
Yeah, well, we're not talking about fine people.
Yeah, I'm talking about acting, terrible, absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
I also had Gwyneth Paltrow. So put up you're throwing things up there during my list.
Yeah,
now.
I screwed up. I accidentally clicked my I'm sorry.
I know, put that up there because I'm gonna go put that up there. Put
Lioness was the one is that the one you were thinking of?
No, not with Zendaya.
Oh,
that's Nicole Kidman. I think she's terrible in it. I think she is the only thing that ruins that series for me. And I like the series.
She's not great in it, but I don't mind her. But it's fine.
The only movie Gwyneth Paltrow was good in was with another actor who I can't stand, Jack Black, and that was Shallow Hell. It's the only
that was pretty good.
I liked Gwyneth Paltrow in. So I could not find.
But I don't like her either.
I love the movie 7. Didn't like her in it. Yeah, I'm not a big Gwyneth Paltrow fan.
Yeah,
Number 2, Sarah Jessica Parker.
Oh, you know what? I forgot all about her, but yeah, she should have been on my list.
Every one of these could have been on anybody's list. She is absolutely abysmal as far as an actress goes. There's nothing absolutely nothing. And then my number 1, which made go on.
Real quick, was her and Helen Hunt were in a 80s, was it Breakin'?
Was it?
They were in a dance movie together in the 80s,
Yeah.
Helen Hunt and Sarah Jessica Parker. And
Let me find
when
that.
you can make an 80s movie bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because a lot of them were bad, but when you make
it
you're really
bad. She's terrible. I can't. And of course, my number one, Kristen Stewart.
Yeah.
There's zero things I can pinpoint that I could watch that she's in. Zero. I think she is the female Jesse Eisenberg for me.
Yeah,
There's like nothing.
I think that's pretty standard. I think she's on a lot of people's
I think she's
list. And
pretty standard. Makes most people's list. I
was not going to correct you, Dale, but apparently everyone else is. So
what? Correcting me?
Julia Roberts was not in An Officer and a Gentleman. That was Deborah Winger. I wasn't going to correct.
Oh yeah. I meant not Officer and Gentleman. I meant a Pretty Woman. Is what I meant.
Okay. Yeah,
that's what I meant.
Hated
I don't know why I was
movie.
thinking of that. Yeah,
Hated the
yeah.
movie.
I agreed. I meant Pretty Woman. I don't know what I was thinking
Euphoria.
of. Deborah Winger could have been on the list. It's Euphoria. The HBO show was Zendaya.
Euphoria. I don't watch.
You told me you did.
I do not watch. If I did, I was lying or I was drunk. One or the other. Because I've never seen it.
I thought you told me you watch it.
No.
That's the show she's in. I've heard she's done a pretty good job in that show, actually. So I don't know that to be true.
On my list.
I'm just saying. I can't. Zendaya. I'm just like I've heard that. I just don't know if that's true. I've never seen the show myself. So what is Aiken? 2 out of the 3 Sanderson sisters. Who am I miss? I don't know them. Do you know them?
I don't know if that's a movie reference or because I wonder, huh?
I don't know.
Help us out, Aiken. We're not as smart here.
We are not. We're just plain old stupid when it comes to it. Yes, I know. And great. She wasn't in Officer and Gentleman. That's not what I meant. I meant Pretty Woman.
I wasn't going to correct you, but of course, our wonderful list.
You know what?
Yeah, I love
because
it when it
Officer
happens
and
to
Gentleman is absolutely a terrible movie. Maybe that's what I was thinking of. So,
but I'm serious. There was
yeah.
a poll taken. 9 out of 10 people who liked Julia Roberts were serial killers. I mean, it's proven. It was a poll that was taken. It's out there. It's true.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And the other one wishes it would have been killed by a serial killer instead of watching a Julia Roberts movie, right?
I know there are people out there that love her. My wife loved Pretty Woman. She absolutely loves it. She just, I poke my eyes out, man. I don't like it. I just don't like her. There's just, and you know how that is. There's just something about somebody.
I get that.
Like when you first met me,
singer, whatever.
When you first met me, it's like, God, this guy's an idiot. And then when you got to know me, you're like, yeah, I was right. He's an idiot.
Yeah, he's an idiot.
so I
like him now.
I can't stand
it.
Oh, okay.
I like him now. Hocus Pocus reference.
Pocus reference. Okay.
Oh, okay.
I gotcha.
Thank you.
Thank
now
you.
I got you. Yeah,
yes, her mouth is very big. Yes.
It is.
You can get 2 or 3 in
massive.
there. We won't discuss anything more than that.
2 or 3 what?
Nothing.
Bananas? What are you talking about? Depends on the size of the bananas, Jim. There's an inside reference.
Yeah, because Dale found out that bananas are different sizes.
I didn't know that. I didn't know the bananas were different sizes. Quick note, Jim asks restaurants what size their bananas are. Just so you know, it's a common question apparently for Jim.
Well, okay. But there was Banana Foster, right? That's what the dessert was. And there was a bunch of us at
was
the table.
interested in the banana size.
No, there was a bunch of us at the table. So if there were small, teeny, tiny bananas, you weren't going to get much out of those.
No, they were asking how many to order, 1 or 2 of the. So he's like, "Well, how big are the bananas?" I'm like, "What?"
I thought it was a valid question.
I know, but what was the guy going to say? Well, we have 8.5-inch.
Wasn't a guy? It was a
at our restaurant.
It was.
If you go to the competitors, they're only 5.5 inches. What is he going to tell you? Is he measuring bananas? Does any restaurant measure bananas? Jim does. Folks, the show's gone off the rails as always.
Yes, as usual.
What do we have? Guess what we have Wednesday, folks? And this was from Buckeye as well, another suggestion. Top 5 underrated bands. Right?
I got them.
We're not talking about solo singers. Top 5 underrated bands. And they got to be underrated. Now, listen, I mean, just because you like them doesn't mean, yes, that's like, who knows?
And there could be some,
but
like Dale and I talked about before, there could be people on that list that sold a lot of albums.
Yeah.
But not appreciated like maybe they should.
They should be.
Mhm.
Agreed. So it's underrated, and it's your list, and it's our listeners' list, whatever they decide as well.
To me, ABBA was one of the most
bands.
underrated groups of all time.
They're not a band, Jim. Not a one of them played an instrument. Maybe somebody shook a tambourine once. I don't remember.
The guys did.
Did they? In ABBA?
Mhm.
Oh, I didn't even know that. So, anyways, ABBA's not going to be on my list.
They're not going to be in my.
They could not be more.
I do like ABBA.
They should be more underrated. I can't wait to see your list. So stay tuned for that. That is top 5 underrated bands. That's on Wednesday. Jim, any quick headlines before we call it a day? Zelenskyy.
I didn't see any.
I didn't see anything pop up either. Anything that's going to be breaking right at the moment.
Yeah, real quick, I do want to remind some people.
Yeah.
Remember when all this stuff came on about how these tariffs are terrible? Newsmax just reported that tariffs prompt Honda to produce the Civic in Indiana.
Yep.
And they did it because of the potential tariffs in Mexico.
Yep. Correct. Jobs
Boy,
to
we keep
America.
winning, don't we?
Imagine that. Yeah.
We keep winning.
That winning. I can't stop winning. I love the winning. We can't stop it. Folks, please like, follow, and share us on Rumble and on X. Please go to the Patriots Prayer Network on Rumble and like and share that and follow. So you can be. What does this say, Jim?
Jim, they better not be on your list or you will be called the Dancing Queen.
Dancing Queen.
You know what, Tarn? I'm going to be
Turner?
completely honest with you. They're not on my list, but thank you because now they're going to call me the Dancing Queen anyway.
Here comes Jim and the Dale and the Dancing Queen show coming up. And well, fits right in with your transitioning too that you're doing. It's gonna work. Yeah, careful. There's a pickle in there. He never asked about the size of pickles, oddly enough, but he sure does care about your bananas. Folks on X, please follow on X at the Patriots Pray, and on our Two Guys One Coup X channel. Please like, follow, and share. Everybody who joined in and commented today, and we absolutely love the fact that you are here. We had some new ones show up today, and of course the trusted ones that always follow and listen and share with us. Again, get those old Bongino folks and get them over to Two Guys One Coup. I'm sure they'll enjoy themselves like you all do. Thank you for your participation, Jim. You've been wonderful as always. Put that up there. Calling it now. Jim shows up wearing drag on Wednesday. I don't doubt it. I don't think Great Gear makes drag wear, so thank God. But so you might have to get that from a competitor. But he might do that. Here, Buckeye, thank you for putting that up there. X.com/2 guys 1 coup.
Why can't
Jim,
you wear drag?
Because you always put your foot in your mouth. I mean, you bring it on. It's easy. It's easy with Jim.
Yeah, you know what? I think so.
Not our fault.
I
You are
probably
who
do
you are.
bring it up. I probably do bring it up myself.
You bring it on yourself, brother.
Turner, thank you. We try. But
Yeah, we try.
don't die. We don't want you to die. We love you.
Jim will
We
be
need you
Arkansas here before the end of the day. So again, those wellness
Buckeye,
checks will be
people
appreciated.
reach out. Make sure we're here. Make sure we're here.
Make sure we're alive.
I wonder
Yeah,
why my
you know,
wife just texted me and say she for the next 3 nights she's not staying here. I don't know
It's
why.
a house. Folks, you've been great. We appreciate it, Jim. Great show as always for you. Thank you. We look forward to your list again. Top 5 underrated bands on Wednesday. That plus so much more in the breaking news that'll happen the minute we come off the air. We'll bring you that.
Yeah.
Please follow the network. Follow the folks on the network. To the Point, Nate Kane, Cowboys and Indians.
Come out.
Please
them
just
out.
follow everybody that's on the network and like and share. And thank you again for the comments on the Babylon
Yeah,
Betrayal.
check it out,
Thank you
folks.
to
It's
Eddie
pretty
and the
good.
network for giving me that opportunity to do that. Interesting story. Boy, a lot of pushback from the community, or from the city there on this. So it's going to be interesting. Hopefully it goes somewhere and we get a little. I'd love to have the back and forth. They were invited to comment, by the way, on the documentary and chose not to. So that kind of tells me a little something. But at any rate,
fine. Right. Correct.
yeah, when he declined, there's something you're hiding there. So there's a little shady things going on there.
Like the empty building.
There will. Yeah, the empty building, the empty building where USAID funding. Maybe that's what's happening in Babylon, New York, Babylon Village. So, folks, tune into that too as well. We appreciate it. And thank you, Eddie, again for the opportunity. It was an honor. Jim, we'll see you and everybody else here on Wednesday. We'll talk to you soon. Have a great rest of your day. Yep. God bless you. God bless America. Talk soon.